The drug court program is an incredible program. I have been a huge advocate of it for any client I can, anybody who has any type of any issues at all with drugs, other eligible offenses that may be allowed into drug court. It allows people to not only get the help that they need, but it gives them a support system. And that's something huge because it's so difficult to try to conquer addiction without any type of help. And drug court provides a team, they provide services, they provide help, and they provide people, and they also provide love, which is a huge thing that you need in drug court.
Well, talking about support, love, and all of that, can you describe a little bit one of your fondest memories of appearing before Judge Porth?
One of my fondest memories of appearing before Judge Porth actually has a little bit of a sad note to it. I was representing a client. His name was Justin, and he was doing pretty well in drug court. And unfortunately, Justin's addiction got the best of him, and he passed away from an overdose. But Justin's mom was extremely involved in his life and his attempts at recovery. And Justin's mother would come to court every time. And on the time that she came to inform us that Justin had passed away, Judge Porth allowed her to address the entire drug court audience that was there that day for court. And it was so kind of him to allow her to speak to everybody. And her words had such a huge impact on the people in drug court that day that people came up to me afterwards and wanted to talk to her more. They wanted her phone number. And it was truly because of Judge Porth's kindness that he allowed her to do this. And it was therapeutic for her. It was therapeutic for everybody there. And it just showed to me the absolute incredible person that Judge Porth is by allowing her to do that. And I believe that she actually went on a few more times and spoke at different drug court events. And it was just that moment that I remember about Judge Porth being just so understanding of the situation and allowing it to happen for this mother who had lost her son.
He is an incredible person, kind and thoughtful, and I know Judge Porth, so just a beautiful story. Talking about that, can you elaborate more on his temperament, Judge Porth?
His temperament is incredible. I mean, people are in front of him. They're going through withdrawal sometimes. They're having issues. They're relapsing. There were people who just weren't keeping up with the program. And he was always so kind and so even-keeled with his rulings, with the way that he spoke to them. Even if he was telling them something to the effect of, listen, this isn't going well, you're going to need a higher level of care. Even as he did that, and they were maybe going to a program, he did that with such grace and such patience and with such love that it was impossible for them to say no. And I believe, based on my experiences in drug court, that I would venture to say 80% of the people that went through drug court in front of Judge Porth were successful. And it may have even been a higher number, but it was because of the way he conducted himself, the way that he addressed everybody, just with respect and kindness. It's amazing to be in his courtroom and watch him.
So obviously it takes a special kind of person to sit on drug court. What would you say then for Judge Porth, that specialness is it his patience, the love that he has for humanity?
I think it's also his ability to listen, to understand the situation, and then to make a ruling based upon that without a knee-jerk reaction, without getting mad at somebody if they're upset or they're crying or they're screaming. He just has this even-temperedness that goes throughout the entire courtroom. There's a sense of humor. He and I always have a running joke that whenever I come into his courtroom, he raises up a coffee cup and I raise up my coffee cup in honor of my last name. And everybody in the courtroom laughs, and it kind of eases the tension in there even before we start anything. So it's just it's a wonderful, wonderful experience going in there. And it's because of the way he handles the courtroom and the way that he just addresses everybody.
So to end this, can you tell us a little bit one of your great success stories in drug court?
I had a young man who had a lot of stomach issues, and it was very difficult for him to deal with drug court, handle his stomach issues. The medication that he was supposed to be taking wasn't permissible in drug court. And Judge Porth worked so hard with this individual. He worked so hard with the treatment program, who was the provider. And he worked so hard to make sure that this young man, very young man, maybe 18, 19 years old, He worked so hard to make sure that this young man did everything that he could to have success. And he gave him all the necessary tools, resources, and again, support that this young man, despite all of his medical issues, was able to successfully complete drug court and get his case dismissed. And I spoke to him recently, and he's moved on with his life. He has a great job, a great family. And it really was because of the understanding and the support that Judge Porth gave to him and allowed him to participate in this program despite all of his medical issues, that he's a success story to this day. And so that's one of my best stories for Judge Porth, and I hold up my coffee cup in his honor.
Love it. So Andy, thank you for taking time today. Appreciate you sharing your insights on Judge Porth, great human being and a great judge.
Absolutely.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
Perfect. That's it. We're
Perfect,
done, man.
How'd I do? Okay.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Once you start going, it's a conversation. I just try to hear what you have to say and kind of just build off of it and kind of reform the question that I wanted to ask. Sometimes I tweak it a little bit, but it's just to make it seem natural in our conversation. And I think we clicked. Once we started talking, I think it worked.
Excellent. All right. Well, I appreciate it. If you need anything else, don't hesitate. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it.
A pleasure. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.